In this section, we'll be dealing with the word per. What mathematical symbol does the word per stand for? Per stands for the division bar, i.e. $15 per pound can be written as $15 over 1 pound. So whenever you have the word per, you can replace it with a division bar, or you can create a fraction. For example, each night a bar mixes 5 gallons of whiskey that cost X dollars per gallon with 15 gallons of soda that cost Y dollars per gallon. What is the cost per gallon of the whiskey and soda mixture? If we have 5 gallons of whiskey that each cost X dollars, we have a total cost of 5X for the whiskey. And if we have 15 gallons of soda that each cost Y dollars, we have a total cost of 15Y for the soda. The cost per gallon can be rewritten as total cost divided by the total number of gallons, because the word per, remember, can be replaced with a division bar. The total cost is 5X plus 15Y. The total number of gallons is 20. Therefore, the cost per gallon is 5X plus 15Y over 20. There's another way to think about this question, one that allows you to do it without drawing any pictures. If we have 5 gallons of whiskey that cost X dollars per gallon, you can multiply 5 gallons times X over 1 gallon. The different units cancel out, so the total cost is just 5 times X. If you have 15 gallons of soda that cost Y dollars per gallon, you can write the Y dollars per gallon as a fraction, so you're multiplying 15 gallons times Y over 1 gallon. Once again, the gallons cancel out, and so the cost for the soda is 15 times Y. And this is all in dollars, as you can see by the units. So therefore, the total cost for the whiskey is the total cost of the whiskey and the soda is 5X plus 15Y. The total number of gallons is 20. Therefore, the cost per gallon is 5X plus 15Y over 20. Just like it was before, we take the total cost and divide that by the total number of gallons. Let's take a look at this question. For Bank X savings account, the annual return is $160 per $2,000 invested, while for a Bank Y account, the annual rate of return is $700 per $5,000 invested. Which savings account gives a better return? Bank X gives us a return of $160 per 2,000, which we can write as 160 over 2,000. We can then reduce this fraction by first getting rid of any zeros that are both in the top and bottom, so we're left with 16 over 200. Then dividing the top and bottom by 4. The top divided by 4 comes out to be 4. The bottom divided by 4 becomes 50. So what we have here is 4 over 50. The return on Y is $700 over 5,000. We can reduce this as well by getting rid of 2 zeros up top and 2 zeros in the bottom, so that we're left with 7 over 50. It's now easy to compare these two returns. One gives you $4 for every 50 invested, the other one gives you $7 for every 50 invested. Therefore, Bank Y gives you a better return, gives you more money back for the same amount that you invest. What about this question? This question reads, if a regular sized soda contains 150 calories and is 8 ounces smaller than a jumbo 20-ounce soda, how many calories per ounce of soda are there in the regular sized soda? We know that the jumbo sized soda is 20 ounces. We know that the regular sized soda is 12 ounces. We know this because it tells us that a regular sized soda contains 150 calories and is 8 ounces smaller than a jumbo soda. We also know that the regular soda, as I just read, has 150 calories. So the question is, how many calories per ounce of soda are there in the regular size soda? Well, what you do is you divide calories by ounces. Per, remember, is the division bar, so we can write this as a fraction, 150 over 12. We would reduce this to get 50 over 4. If we divide both the top and bottom by 3, then we can divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2 to get 25 over 2. And now, since they're asking calories per ounce, we need to know, what if there is 1 ounce? This is 25 calories for every 2 ounces, so we would divide both the top and bottom by 2 to get 12.5 calories per ounce. And so that's our answer, 12.5 calories per ounce. Take a look at this question. Mike bought 5 pounds of Brazilian coffee for $31.05 and 3 pounds of Costa Rican coffee for $19.99. Which coffee was more expensive per pound? The Brazilian was $31.05 for 5 pounds, and the Costa Rican was $19.99 for 3 pounds. Now, these are not very simple numbers to divide by. What you can do in a lot of questions is approximate. 31.05 is very close to 30 divided by 5, which is just 6. So the Brazilian coffee was roughly $6 per pound. The Costa Rican coffee is close to $20 for 3 pounds, which is equal to 6.6 endlessly repeating. So more than 6. So we can see from this that if we approximate, we'll be able to see that the Costa Rican coffee was more expensive per pound. Let's take a look at this last question. A school can divide all of its students into 12 classrooms with X students per classroom, or 30 classrooms with Y students per classroom. What is greater, X or Y? One way to do this question is to substitute numbers in, but we wouldn't substitute in for X or Y. What we should do is we should pick a number for the total number of students. Suppose that there's a total of 600 students in this school. So if we divide those 600 students into 12 classrooms, we get 50 students per classroom. There's a lot of students per classroom, but that's what X is equal to in this case, because we're told that if we divide the students into 12 classrooms, we get X students per classroom. Now, if we divide those 600 students into 30 classrooms, we're going to get 20 students per classroom, and that's Y. So it turns out that X is greater, and this makes intuitive sense, because if you take a number and you divide it into 12, you're going to get more per classroom, or more per person, or more per unit, because you're dividing by a smaller number than if you divide it by 30. If you're dividing 600 by 30 or anything by 30, it's going to be less than if you divide it by 12.